I'm hoping we are live. Fingers crossed. Hello, hello. Fingers crossed. Let's see, am I live on my page? Yes! Hurrah! Okay, so we've got people already. Woohoo! So when you come on, if you could tell me who you are, where you're from, what time of day it is, all that good stuff, that would be amazing. I have already got a tickle in my throat, so this is going to bode well. So, drink. It is water. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was something stronger, but hi Jackie, hi Renee. Oh, I've just realised I've got the speaker on my phone, which is never a good idea. So let me just turn that off. That's better. Don't want any feedback. So how is everyone? Hi Nora. What a week, and it's only Tuesday. Hi Wendy, hi Renee in Australia at 8 p.m. Morning Emma. Hi Sue from Tasmania, also at 8 p.m. So I know there's all sorts of lockdowns. I don't think Tasmania's got a lockdown. Morning Margaret, I'm very well, thank you. Little jaded, and it's only Tuesday. Morning Lorna, morning Jan. So Jan, where are you? Are you in... Thank you Wendy for sharing. Jan, are you in Wheatley or are you in Cornwall? I get confused, you live such a nomadic life. Sorry, I'm just looking at one of the projects we're going to make today. I've actually planned one whole project. It's a typical Scottish day, sunshine, cloudy, no rain yet. Well, you know what they say, don't you, Audrey? You get, if you go to Scotland, you get all of the seasons in one day. And it's pretty accurate, I think. Hello, Elizabeth Knox from Melbourne, which I know is locked down. Our numbers seem to be going up, which is never a good thing. It's going up particularly in the 20s age range. I think they think they're indestructible, so they can go out and party and all that good stuff. So yeah, there's a huge, I mean, the spike in the UK in the last couple of days has been quite significant. Hi, Wendy March. So yes, and the proportion of people who are in their 20s, morning Baz, is just awful. So yes, if you know anyone who is in their 20s, please tell them to be sensible. Hi Claire. Another drink. And then I'm going to do the housekeeping, because we always like to do a bit of housekeeping. I don't, but you know, housekeeping and me don't get on particularly well. So just to start with, today is Tuesday the 8th of September. I have to check because I can never remember what day of the week it is. They all merge into one, and I've only had one cup of coffee so far this morning. That might be why. So yes, today is Tuesday the 8th of September. If you're watching me on Facebook and there is a live in that corner, I have to check because it's not mirrored. So if there's a live in that corner, then you are watching me live, and I love it. Vast majority of our cases have been, yeah, absolutely, Elizabeth. 20s and 30s is where it's increasing. So yes, if you see a live there, sorry, I'll pick up Wendy's comment in a minute. Then we are live and we're on Facebook. If you don't see a live and you're on Facebook, it's not live. And if you're watching me on YouTube, it's not live because this is a replay of a Facebook Live. So I was laughing because Wendy said, asked if I was still on the vodka. Absolutely. Morning, Jeanette. Jan is in Wheatley, so she's not that far from me. Love the colour of your water bottle. Yes, rose gold. if you ask my husband, this was a present from someone he doesn't know. If if you want the truth, I bought it myself. But it was at a time when I was supposed to be saving money, and I saw it and I fell in love with it, so I had to have it. And it is actually a chili bottle, although you can get other bottles that are rose gold. Uh, is it me or is the volume low? Well, I don't know what's going on with the volume. Um, I've turned mine up a little bit, but someone did comment on my YouTube that it was a bit low. I did actually have it down a little bit, but hopefully that's a bit better. I am thinking of getting a microphone, um, but I'm slowly building up webcams and things. I'm very close to actually being able to do picture in picture, but I need to have a little bit more of a play. Once I've got picture in picture sorted out, I will then worry about getting a microphone. It's down to how many USB sockets I've got on my laptop. So Wendy, your volume's Wendy March, the volume's fine. Okay, super. So it may be you, Wendy Davis Steed, I don't know, but I have got it up as full as I can. I used to do theatrical stuff, so I do project. Lorna says it's okay with her as well. So I think it may be dependent on what you're watching on. There's a fly, and it is a fly. It's not me imagining it. The little baby fly. So yes, so this is, and Wendy March remembers this. Do you remember this, Wendy? I'm only pulling your leg. Wendy came and helped me at a craft fair that I was doing. Gosh, was it 2 years ago? Apple device volume. Great. Thank you, Wendy. Apples are for eating. I keep telling you this. Anyway, was it 2 years ago we did the Swindon thing? Or was it last year? I can't remember. No, it was last year. I think it was last year. A wee bit low with Audrey as well. I will try and project more. Just means I have to stop for more water. Anyway, we were packing up the day, and poor Wendy, who had been an amazing assistant to me the whole day, particularly when I was running classes and things at the show. I went to get myself comfortable for the journey home. Came back and she was so apologetic because she said, "I've ruined your flask." It had fallen on the floor and the lid had been dented. It's not ruined, it's loved, is what it is. Anyway, right. I shall come a bit closer to the microphone as well. Last year, was it only? Oh my good grief. How time flies. I know it was piddling with rain. I mean, I did both days, and both days it chucked it down, and I mean buckets. So, let us do some more housekeeping. Thank you, Nora. So, yes, various of you have already started sharing with the word shared with a D. Still feeling the guilt, don't Wendy? Audrey's is not a fruit one. Good, glad to know that. Hello, Ken. So, yes, quick bits. So, those of you who ordered the Have a Hoot class kit in a box, I'm hoping to get that out today. The order with all the bits came in yesterday. I just need to finish cutting the card bases and all that good stuff and get that packaged up, and then that will be in the post. I say hopefully that will be today, otherwise it will be tomorrow. The PDF and the videos are ready to go, and I will email those to you when I have put the packs in the post. So yeah, if you share, that's better when you're closer to a microphone. Thank you, Audrey. So yes, if you share with a D, then you get entered into the prize draw. You have 2 weeks to do that. I check the sharing or the shares on first thing on a Tuesday morning. So you need to have shared before the end of Monday UK time. So I've got an opportunity to check the shares. Thank you, Renee, for sharing. We currently have the promotion for the Get and Go starter kit. I'm going to be using the 2 stamp sets that you get free. Oh, and I better pull out the rhinestones that you get free as well, so that I can show you what you get free. Can I say free any more times, do you suppose? You end up, because of the stamp sets, if we ignore the 16 card projects that you get, and there are, have I slept? Yes, I've slept. So if you, yes, you get card kits. So you get card bases, cut card, envelopes, everything you need to make 4 each of 4 cards. So it's a great time if you want to share stamping with your friends, to have everything you need to do that. You will need to get the inks and the blocks for the projects, which I can't tell you what they are, but I will add that to the information when I share this video and when I put it on my blog, which will be later in the week. So you get, including the 2 free stamp sets, which are, they're actually ones I hadn't bought, although I had got them as possibles. They are Queen Anne's Lace, which is a photopolymer, and So Much Love, which is red rubber. I've literally just ordered them, even though I was intending to get them, I hadn't. And we're going to be using those today, just so that you can see the sorts of things you can make, as well as the projects in the starter kit. So for £99, I'm obviously working in pounds, or €129, because if anyone is watching from France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you can also join my team. You get an additional, including the fact that you get free postage, you get over £75 of free stuff in your starter kit. And that is not including the catalogues, it's not including the order forms and all that sort of stuff. It is just the free stuff that you can put in. The only 3 things that are that you don't have a choice of, well, I suppose there's 4. You don't have a choice of having the business kit. You have to have the business kit. And you don't have a choice of the 2 stamp sets and the rhinestones. They just come in your kit anyway. You don't even have to select those. They will just come. Hi, Nora. So yes, everything else you get to choose £130 worth, up to £130 or €175 of product that you choose. So it is absolutely curated for what you want. If you want to put the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in, which is £112, you can put that in and only pay £99 and still have £18 left for other product. Plus you'll get your 2 free stamp sets and your rhinestones. It's great. It was one of my missing alphabet. It was one of my missing alphabets, so it came just in time. Not sure I totally understand what you mean, Wendy. Steed, I mean. You have to choose to have the catalogues now. Well, you say that, Wendy. You don't. If you don't choose it, I don't think you can go any further. You've always had to choose to have. Oh, to have the catalogues. Okay, if you say so. Do you get a voucher instead? I think you get a voucher instead. I can't remember, but you're probably right that you get to choose whether you have the catalogues. But I think, do you get, anyway, if you can let me know if you get a voucher instead, Wendy. That's Wendy March. I'm just trying to get to see the comments on my laptop as well as on my phone. I've got them at the top of my laptop, which is never a great place for them. Right, so that's that. For those of you who are night owls, oh, your alphabet series on YouTube. Okay, Wendy, sorry, wasn't quite sure what you meant because you just said you're missing alphabet. So those of you who are night owls may have noticed that I had a post go live. This is if you're in the UK, you'll be a night owl. I had a post go live at 11 o'clock last night for this card. This is my card for Kylie Bertucci's International Blog Highlights post. She does this every month. They are always gratitude, thanks type cards. So mine is using the Seaside Notions, and I've got with gratitude as my sentiment. There is a video to go with it, which went live last night as well. If you like my card and would like to vote for it, I would be absolutely thrilled. If you go to my website, you'll find there's a vote for me button there. That will take you to Kylie's website, and you get to choose 5 projects to vote for. If you could choose me as one of them, I would be very, very grateful. The prize is to do a blog hop with Kylie. She is an amazing demonstrator, and she and Bruno run an amazing training program where they are just amazing. So yes, if you would like to do that, I would be very grateful. Right, okay, enough blether from me. Let us get on with some crafting. Wendy, March, if you can let me know if you get to have a voucher or something instead of the catalogues, I would be very grateful. Okay, I'm going to cover you up so it's not too horrid for you. And let me just do a bit of straightening. So this is the card I've already made. That's almost straight. And you can see some of the mess on my desk. So this is the card I've already made. I'm going to make it again. There is some heat embossing. I apologise now. It's going to make noise. But this is using the Queen Anne's lace. And yes, I have got lace here because I thought, you know, it's lace. So why wouldn't I? I've cut my shimmer white cardstock already. I'll have the measurements on my YouTube channel when that goes live. Oh, dirt. But I thought I'd replicate this, and thank you, Wendy March, for voting this morning. See, I'm not the only one that gets up early, you do too. So yes, I will have all the measurements on my, good grief, that's crooked. I'll try and make it less crooked. On my website when this goes live. I'm going to actually change up one of the colours. I'm going to go, right, so what's this one? Thank you, Claire, for voting too. I need to use the lace more as well. I can't tell you how many reels I ordered. I did a class at a team retreat back last year with the bird ballad, and I over-ordered the amount of lace, so I have quite a lot of it. So this is garden green matte, garden green across the piece of shimmer white card, olive, old olive, and then whisper white, or sorry, white embossing. I'm going to change the green for Calypso Coral, just because I can, really. I'm going to bring out my very, 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 very dirty cloth that I use when I'm doing watercolouring. That needs a bit of a press. So, I'm going to use my water painters, and I'm going to use the one with the fat brush. Now, did you know, did you know that this bit, it's not going to do it now, of course, this bit comes off, so you can get a really, really, really long, thin brush if you would rather. And then you can just pop it back in. I tend to take it off when I'm cleaning it, because you do find that, particularly if you're using a very dark or bold colour, the colour can sometimes trap up in the barrelly bit. So I'm going to start by getting some water into my water brush and just brushing it across my piece of paper, card even, and I was going to bring in a piece of scrap. Oh, and I've managed to get that in there. So I'm going to get a reasonable amount of water going. Now, if you worry that your card is curling, what you can do is just add water to the other side as well, and that evens it out. For this, I'm not going to bother, because I'm going to be drying it anyway. So I'm then going to add some water to my Calypso coral here and just paint my, get that off, paint across the back, and I'm not worried if I go off the edge or not. I just want, I want it to look like watercolour. I don't want it to look too arranged. I may turn it upside down, I may do it that way up, but other than that, and then to clean, all I do is squeeze water onto there and then just wipe, and that generally gets it clean. If you're using a lot of water, you will find that you may get ink into the barrel. It's just one of the things that happens when you're using any water painter. Oh, and I saw a very similar kit pack to this in our local WH Smiths, and thank you, Marilyn. Morning, Marilyn. And they were about £3 more, and I swear they were the same water painters. Yeah, because they're made by Fabrique, and I think they were the Fabrique water painters that I saw, and as I say, they were about £3 more expensive. Just saying. Okay, so this we need to dry. I'm going to apologise now for the noise. Those of you who are not getting very good noise, you're going to be pleased. I don't need it to be dry, I just need it to not be wet. And turn it over a few times as well. And I'll hang up my thing again. What I tend to do is wait until it is basically flat, and then I kind of go, yeah, that'll do. So it's basically flat. I mean, it's not completely flat, but it's basically flat. I've already got mounted my stalks and my head. I'm going to do the stalks still in Old Olive. And as I say, I have turned this over, so I've got the darker area at the bottom. So I'll just ink this up. And now I do use my fingers, my small fingers, little fingers, just to hold the corner of the card down, and then just stamp. And once you've got the stamp down, you don't have to worry about holding anything. Now, one of the joys of this stamp is if you're not completely straight with it, it doesn't matter, because it's of plants, and plants don't grow straight. So for me, as a lazy crafter, it's perfect. And no, I still haven't changed my chamois. I will change it for the new Stampin' Up year. The new Stampin' Up year starts on the 1st of October, and that's when I'm going to change my chamois. I have one ready to go, but yeah. Right, now I'm going to show you a tip that I picked up from Kay Warner, who has an amazing YouTube channel. She is an amazing creator. I mean, I would say artist. Her projects are just phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend her channel, Kay Warner. She says if you're worried that your ink isn't dry when you're about to do embossing, put it in your embossing powder, and if it sticks, your ink's not dry. So you can then just make sure that you concentrate on the areas that it's stuck, which, surprise, surprise, were here, which has got the most ink on it. When you then come in with your, yes, I know we don't do it anymore, embossing buddy. But an amazingly good tip. So I am using quite a lot of embossing buddy and my Versamark ink pad. And then again, I'm going to do this on the side because it's just easier, and my little fingers will hold it down. Morning, Rachel. I hope you got your... You've got it. You're ahead of me. I'm glad the ribbon arrived safely, because Rachel was our winner from 2 weeks ago. So I posted her prize out last week. Christina is amazingly talented, isn't she? I mean, she is just... Oh. So this again, although it's a two-step stamp, it's not... You don't have to line it up perfectly. So don't worry. It's a really good stamp set for a beginner, which I think is probably why they put it into the starter kit. Oh, and while I think about it, the 3rd of October is World Stamp Making Day. Not stamp, card making day. And I'm going to be doing a creativity in a box class. So anyone who's interested in that, I haven't got the details finalized yet, but I will get those finalized and post on my website. So keep an eye on that, because the idea is that we make lots of cards on card making day and then send them out the following week. Thank you, Wendy March, for trying to find out about the confirmation of the catalogue voucher. So I've stamped that, and I actually want it to not be brilliantly lined up, because I want some of the green showing through. So, isn't it a great tip, Elizabeth? So I'm just going to heat emboss this. Right, so the card is very curly. What I would tend to do if you have this happen and you're not in a rush, I didn't heat emboss it terribly well, is put it under a block. That's better. So yes, put it under a block for a while, and then, you know, go make yourself a cup of tea, and by the time you've got your nice tea bag or coffee, it will be flat. So I'm going to grab a Calypso Coral matte. So we're going to do Calypso Coral because that's the background. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Let me just put the lid on my embossing powder. Now, is that shimmer white? Yes. One of the things to be aware of with shimmer white cardstock is it's not. And by that I mean it's not white. The catalogues are part of the starter kit, and you do not get a voucher So you do get, yeah, so the catalogues are part of the starter kit. The thing is, you cannot get the starter kit without them. So whilst you have to select them, I don't think you can go any further until you have done so. But thank you for checking, Wendy March. I'm having to say Wendy March because we've got 2 Wendys. That's the only reason I'm saying that. This is shimmer white. This is white. I don't know if you can pick up that it's not. But equally, it is not vanilla. My lights are fairly bright, so I don't think you're going to pick that up. But it's kind of between the two. I would say it's ivory. So just be aware that if you're using this and you're not covering the whole of your shimmer white, use an off-cut for your sentiment. Have you ever double or more with embossing powder? Yes. What I mean is reapply the embossing powder. Was thinking about trying it, but would you lose the shape of the image? Yes and no, Wendy Davis Steed. I'll finish this card and then I will reply to your query. So this has curled. I don't mind that it's curled because it's very easy to flatten. There are 2 ways of doing it. One takes longer than the other. Firstly, you can use your Seal Plus, or you can use your Tombow, or you can use a combination of the 2. So Seal Plus is very, 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 very strong. Now, normally I would not use this much, just saying. But because this is curled, I am. So I'm going right the way around the outside of my card. And then what I'm going to do is high dot is add some liquid adhesive in the middle as well. And then I'm going to pop this onto my mat. Trying to get it straight is always a plan. So now we've got the sides really nicely stuck down. Press across the back. And that is going to be flat because we're then going to stick it onto the card base, also with more than I would usually use by way of adhesive. So that's that. Let's get the sentiment done, which I've got mounted up. Again, I'm going to use Best Wishes and I'm going to use Calypso Coral. So just a wee bit of Calypso Coral, and I want it towards an end, and I'm going to trim this down. I'm now standing on tiptoe, just so you know. Sorry, the reason I stopped is I'm reading Heather's comment, and absolutely, Seal Plus is amazing. No more curling. It does what it says on the tin. It is. I liked Fast Fuse. I love Seal Plus. Right, I need my mini chopper, which I thought I had out, and I have. So I'm going to trim this down. Now, I've said this before. This is on a spring. The edge of the metal is 1/2 inch. So just trim that. And so the reason I say it's on a spring is because people get worried that I put my fingers underneath the chopper. And I can understand that. The reason I have gone for 1/2 inch is because I'm using my Banners Pick-a-Punch to do the flag end. Then I'm just going to grab a small piece of lace. How much do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bit. So there's our, let's get rid of this. We don't need this for the moment. So again, I'm going to use my Seal Plus for this because it is a really nice strong adhesive. And I'm going to add some Seal Plus on the back of my sentiment. So this is the top of the sentiment. Then I can add my ribbon. Well, not ribbon, my lace. It's lace. How difficult is that? I can add my lace. Just like to shape it a wee bit to the bottom. So this is the bottom. And just add that on. And then we're also going to add some dimensionals. So one, now where am I going to have it? I'm going to have it about there. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and then this one I'm going to add to that. Remove that. I keep covering up my bin. I don't know why I keep covering up my bin, but it's not a good idea. The hidden things you do for us. Your trimmer's developed a horrible squeak. Oh, wonder why. How unpleasant for you. So this I'm then going to stick to that end dimensional, which I know is in the right place because I stuck it in the right place. And then that, oh, I know what I didn't add to my original project, which I will add to this. Now I'm going to use my sticky scissors because it's got Seal Plus, and I don't want Seal Plus all over my good scissors. So, rhinestones. Haven't added rhinestones, so let's add those to both of the cards. Then I'll put this on a card base, and then we'll have a go at something else. So as we have rhinestones, let's use them because these are free in our starter kit during September. So large, medium, and small. Triangle. You know me and my triangles. So again, large, just tucked in under here, medium on here, and small up. Shall I bring it down a bit? No, or out a bit. No, we'll go there. Right, okay, so that's those. Let me grab my card base, which I've already prepared. I know, it's as if I was organised today. It's a worry. Don't worry, we're about to go into I have no idea what I'm doing next mode, because I've only prepared one card. You wouldn't want me to prepare, would you? So where are we? 25 to 12. So this time I'm going to use my favourite liquid adhesive. And again, I'm going to put extra. This is the extra, purely because this is still a little bit not totally flat. So I'm going to give it all the help I can give it. Press from the back. So those of you that are newish and wonder why I press from the back, I cannot tell you the number of times I've done that and either smudged or moved or, you know, those sorts of things. So those are our two cards. So Calypso Coral and Garden Green. They're just really nice, relatively simple cards if you're into heat embossing. Oh, if you're using it on the glimmer paper, Audrey, that might be why your trimmer has developed a squeak. On the subject of glimmer paper or glitter paper, because some of it's called glimmer and some of it's called glitter, the black is glitter, everything else is glimmer, I would always keep a separate blade for your trimmer rather than guillotine for glimmer paper, because it will absolutely hammer your blade. So I would keep a separate, when you've got an old blade, and I know our new blades last a long time, but when you've got a new blade, when you're swapping an old blade for a new blade, keep your old blade for your glimmer paper. And if you're cutting foil, please cut it upside down. Otherwise you can end up scraping the top of your foil. Just saying. So that's our first card. Now, the question of adding embossing powder. Gosh, my brain went for a moment there. This isn't what I had planned, but no, that's not really a good one to use. I'm going to show you. Oh, that would work. Probably. I'm going to show you a technique that I haven't done for a long time. Double-sided sticky tape would work just as well. What's the benefit of the adhesive? Do you mean the liquid adhesive, Kerry, or the sticky? So the liquid adhesive is a strong bond. It just gives you a bit of wiggle room. So if it's not perfectly straight and you're like me and things have to be, generally, the glue does give you that wiggle room. But it's a matter of personal taste. If we go back to when we had snail, some people loved snail. I wasn't one of them. Some people hated it. I was. So yes, it depends. Yeah, glimmer paper upside down, very good. Yes, keeps the damage to a minimum. So I'm going to just grab something, if I can find it, what I need. This isn't ideal, but it will do. Let me just... I'm going to just cut a small piece of chipboard. You can do this on ordinary card, but it is not... Yes. Yes, you mean liquid adhesive, Kerry. Sorry. It's the Okay, 1/4 inch strips for your Christmas card. Right. 1/4 inch strips of glimmer paper. Well, yes, so that would probably be why. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a non-Stampin' Up product only because I happen to have it on my desk. And some silver embossing powder. The reason I'm saying it's just because I have it on my desk is because, well, I do. So it is a Versamark. It's the Versamark Dazzle Frost. I don't think they do this anymore. But as I'm going to be using quite a lot of ink. So this I know really wasn't what you were asking, Wendy Davis Steed, but it's what I'm going to give you anyway. I answered your question. Good. Thank you, Kerry. So this is covered in Versamark, and I'm going to pop it into my box. But I'm hoping this will show you what I mean, Wendy, about layering up, which may or may not answer your question. So let me just grab, gosh, this was completely unplanned, but here we go. So I need my piercing tool. So this will take quite a while to melt because it's on chipboard. Wendy's horrified that I'm using something that isn't Stampin' Up, I think. Don't worry about changing my agenda because I used up my agenda. So we want that to be at least dry, and by dry I mean not molten. And then we're going to add more Versamark and a hair apparently. Oh well, it'll get covered up. and more embossing powder. And if you've never done this, I would highly recommend it as something to have a go at. This is going to take a little bit longer to dry, so hopefully we're getting there. Yes. Your mini guillotines always had a squeak, Jan. Okay. I was going to say you might want to try WD-40, but then that would get all over your card, so possibly not. So more Versamark. More embossing powder. So has anyone seen what I'm doing before? Has anyone seen what I'm doing before? Does anyone know what I'm doing? And if so, has anyone seen layering like this before? I may have done it before, actually, just not for a while. Right, I'm going to do one more layer and then I'm going to show you what's going on. Absolutely brilliant, Elizabeth. I'm just going to pop some Versamark on there. So some of you have seen it before / done it before, and some of you haven't. Okay. I mean, it's not an original technique. It's been around for years. I remember going to my local garden centre, you know, in the days when you could, many years ago, and seeing this done for the first time. And it was they had a crafts fair, a craft shop. Yes, I am. Are you making a seal? Sort of. Yes. I just love this technique. It does take a bit of time, but yeah. If you could see what's going on here, I've actually got my heater tool between my legs, simply because I need to put it somewhere while I'm doing this. I'm happy to say it is not the hot end of my heater tool. Right, this is where we have to be quite quick. So I'm not going to hold this time, I'm just going to hope for the best. And this is where you have to be fairly quick. And I would always recommend putting, if you're stamping into it, putting Versamark on your stamp. Absolutely, Kerry. Yep. You just stamp into it, but put Versamark on your stamp, because then you've got a quick release. So there you go. Let me see if I can pick that up. I mean, you can just keep going and keep going and keep going. What I would suggest is that it's better with the red rubber rather than photopolymer, purely because, absolutely, Nora, it's brilliant for die cut sentiments, which is we are simpatico, if that's the right word. We're on the same wavelength. So you can do die cut sentiments and then put layers of Versamark over them. But yeah, it's a really nice little technique. People aren't going to know how you did it. Well, some will. But yeah, And it doesn't use that much embossing powder. I mean, it uses embossing powder, but not that much. But yeah, great for die cut sentiments. Die cuts generally, actually. So there's that. If you were doing it with the wrap for Christmas stamps, it would look lovely for the wrap for Christmas stamps, because yes, you could do bows. This was from the Little Treats, which I've got out because I've got thank you cards to make for all my wonderful, where are we, August shoppers. So that's my job for today, is making thank you cards for my August shoppers, which I should have done already. And guess what? I haven't. Right, so that's that. Let me now bring in the other stamp set. I'm just going to tidy this away, because for once in my life. So to your original question, Wendy Davis Steed, yes, you can, but in the same way that this became more liquid. Oh, Audrey, yes, it would. They almost look like lollipops, but no, they are baubles. So you can overstamp, heat emboss on top of heat embossing, but you will lose a little bit of the definition. So if you're doing a large sentiment, by large I mean, you know, big, bold, as opposed to these, which are fine sentiments, I think it would work. If you're doing a large image, I think it would work. But if you're doing anything that's quite detailed, I think you would lose too much definition. That's just my personal thought on it. And you'd need to use the Stamparatus, because I can absolutely guarantee you that however good you are with a block, you are never going to get it to line up properly by hand. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so much love. This I thought I would use on, I've got it somewhere, some Whisper White. Is that going to be big enough? Yes, it is. Ooh, I might do it that way, actually. Might do it that way. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. So I need quite a large block for this. Probably, hi Claire, probably that block. Again, you can use a Stamparatus. So I'm going to use blends, so that we're using more than one colouring medium for a change. So I'm going to twist on and then stamp, and I say stamp, jump up and down, and then stamp that. Do you give gifts to new customers? Do you give gifts to new customers first order off DBWS? Rachel, I'm assuming by DBWS you mean online store, because the DBWS isn't. I give gifts to customers online store. Yes, yes and no. Anyone who uses my host code gets free product, because I use it as a way of giving people free product. Costs me nothing to have a host code, and so I just bundle all the host rewards together and then divide it by the number of people who've ordered, and they get that. They get a something, and I've done water painters, I've done host stamp sets, I've done all sorts of things. I try to do something a little different, something that they may not have spotted or may not have automatically ordered. Sorry, I've got embossing powder everywhere now. Everyone gets a thank you card, and everyone gets a thank you, what I call bit of nonsense. And by bit of nonsense, I mean literally a bit of nonsense. So I'm just grabbing that. When I need a yellow. And that. So, yes. So not just new customers, everyone. everyone gets exactly the same thing. The only difference would be if they've used my host code or whether they haven't used my host code. I hope that answers your question. Um, for people who shopped in July, I did do up a mini um, box of sunshine because we have the box of sunshine paper pumpkin kit. So I just did that, and it was just all things yellow. Anyway, this is not a this is not a demonstrator discussion. Well, this is a demonstrator discussion. This isn't really the place for it. So, uh, Magenta Madness, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody. Get ready for brightness. There are two ways. Actually, I'm going to do some the other way. Most the other way. Two ways to do your blending. And I'm sorry I can't zoom in. Just can't do that on this particular camera. I have remembered to start zooming in when I do my normal YouTubes though. So you can either put down light and then add dark and then blend out, or you can put down dark and then just blend out. There's no right or wrong. So all I'm going to do is just add a bit of dark around where I think there's going to be some shading, and then come in, and as I say, these are not just bright, they're very bright, and then just blend that out. Always remember to leave your stamped image to dry before you blend. I have seen people stamp and instantly start colouring, and Memento does take a wee while to dry. I mean, it's not a long time, but it does take a wee while. So this is the add the dark first, then blend out with the light, and in a moment I'm going to show you the difference. So let me just show you this. So there is quite a definite dark edge. I hope you can see that. Let's see if I can get it better on the camera. Trouble is, I've got my camera focused for my work surface. Oh, and you see, this is what I mean. This is not fully dry. I'll deal with that in a moment. So the other way to do it, and I'm going to scare some of you now, is to come in. I didn't even know I'd done that, and it's actually quite useful that I have. So I'm going to come in and colour the whole of my flower with my Magenta Madness. And this is as much as anything for speed. The only bit I've got to be a little bit careful of is here, where I don't want the dots to be magenta. Oop, except I'm getting some of the magenta, so there we go. So then we can come in and colour the whole area really quickly. Would I do this under normal circumstances? No. Would I take each petal separately? Yes. Don't apologise, Rachel. I'm happy to help, but this is really for my customers or followers rather than a demonstrator chat. My wonderful sand eraser. Can't recommend this enough. And basically all you're doing is taking the top layer of card off. So I've coloured the whole of my flower, and now I can come in with my dark and add the shadow where I want it. and I can be, you know, reasonably quick with this. It's not, you don't have to be perfect with it. It's just to get some dimension, otherwise it's going to look really flat. You can spend hours. Now there's an Australian, I'm sure she's Australian, I apologise if she's actually from New Zealand, Paula Dobson, who was a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I think she's retired now. She is an amazing, amazing colorist. I have seen some of her work is just jaw-dropping. So if you get a chance to look her up, I would highly recommend that you do. So now I can just come back in and colour over the top and really not pay too much attention to what I'm doing. Let's colour that in because that was white. And just blend that so that the lines are less harsh. If you do it petal by petal and do light and then dark and then light again, you will get the best finish. But I'm doing this for speed as opposed to anything else. That's still drying. I'm going to come in with New Zealand. Thank you, Elizabeth. I knew she was down in your neck of the woods. I couldn't honestly remember, but her work is just staggering. Do you remember the breathtaking bouquet background stamp we had? She did the most amazing job of colouring that. I mean, good grief. It was just, I could sit and look at it for hours. So add this in. So do any of you have what I call floaters? Well, they are technically, they're not what I call them. They are floaters. Her work is amazing. So floaters in your eyes, where it's as if you've got clouds scudding across your eyes. I say this because I have. And they always come at the most inopportune moment. And when I'm colouring something small, seems to be the moment. Apparently they are more common when you're older. And if you've had an infection of any sort. I first noticed them after I'd just finished chemotherapy. This is the Granny Apple Green Dark. I treated myself to a visit to the Harry Potter exhibition in just outside Watford. It was fairly near to where we lived at the time, and I've been a Harry Potter fan for years. The company that I used to work for in my days as an insurance broker, we actually placed the insurance for the films, so I was quite involved in that as well. Anyway, so I went to see the Harry Potter exhibition, and everything was fine. Came outside, and suddenly I had floaters like you would not believe. They're not so bad yet that I need to have them dealt with, but they are annoying sometimes, and they always seem to happen at the most inopportune moment. And as I say, when you're colouring something small is normally when they happen. So all I'm doing, and I will pick this up and show you in a moment, is adding the dark to the veins of the leaves. And then I'm going to do exactly the same sort of thing as I did for the flowers and just come in over the top. And so this time I actually want these to be more prominent, which is why I've done the dark then light. Yeah, and the floaters are back. Joy! It's always when I'm doing something where I need to be able to see properly. Anywho, can you repeat her name? Paula Dobson. So Paula, Paula, Dobson, Dobson. She's still making. I think she just wanted to be able to use non-Stampin' Up products, or just wanted a break from the whole having to meet minimums and that sort of thing. I mean, you don't have to meet minimums. You don't have to. You can drop without any problem at all. No one's going to beat you up over it. It's one of the joys, actually, of the starter kit is that it can be the only thing you get. I mean, ideally, you would make the most of the discount. But no one's going to send around the crafting police if you buy the starter kit and then don't use your discount. I had a new one developed the other day. Yeah, they're not great. I have to say I wouldn't know if I had new ones or not, because I have so many that they're just there all the time. So just a tiny touch of Mango Melody in the middle, but really the tiniest touch. Just going to have another go at that. And then we're going to pop this card together. Ooh, I think you made my day is a lovely sentiment. That one. I think that, isn't that just a lovely sentiment? I can highly recommend it, Audrey, if you get the opportunity. I know it's a long way for you to go, but if you get the opportunity, it is fantastic. They've now got more stuff. So they've got platform 9 3/4. I wouldn't say that, Wendy. They just decide not to continue. But yes, so they've got platform 9 3/4. If you get a chance to go to one of their special exhibitions, I went for their Christmas one. I know people who've been for Halloween. I don't even know if they're open at the moment because of the peep situation we're in. But yeah. Okay. What am I going to pair that with? Excuse me one moment while I hit. Yeah, that does work. Decisions. No, I think I am. Yes, Audrey, floaters are something that you just get along the way when you are getting a little bit older. It doesn't help if you've had illness. I mean, I was fine until I finished my chemo. So this is Magenta Madness ribbon. It is pretty close to the blends. But anyway, it is Magenta Madness ribbon. And I'm going to pull a Magenta Madness card base. We're going to go really bright here, guys. Black card. You know, that's a thought. That is a thought, Wendy. What I'm actually going to do, is that big enough? Don't think that, no, it's got a hole in it. Right, okay. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a very, very narrow border. It would help if I could remember how big that was, but let's... the reason I brought this out was just in case anything went wrong. You saw it in Paddington Station. I didn't know they had it at Paddington Station. I went through Paddington Station for years. Maybe it was before I went through. Right, okay, so trimmer. First thing to do is to remind myself how big this is. So this is 5 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 3 1/4, 3 3/8. So that's 1/8 of an inch bigger than a quarter. And 5 1/8. And yep. Okay, so this is where I'm going to show Kerry. Anyway, wiggle room. So I don't often use white liquid adhesive on Whisper White, but sometimes it's worth doing. And the reason I don't is that sometimes it can just be a little bit proud when it dries. Paula Dobson, that's the one. So, perfect. Well done, Wendy. Yes. Yes. Oh, I've even got another thought. Right, okay, so I'm going to add this across there. And to do that, I'm going to add a bit of, yeah, about there, a bit of Seal Plus at both sides. Seal Plus is great for adhering ribbon. Is that about right? A little high. Let's go down one tiny piece. Yes, the addition of the black was a very, 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 very good idea, Wendy. Right. There we go. So that I know is straight because I've used my grid lines. Now, there they are. Now, I saw a video this morning from the lovely Patty Bennett. Patty is the most amazing demonstrator. She's been doing this for, 20 plus years. She's in the US. She is a lovely, lovely lady. I could have used black. Why didn't I use black dimensionals? Anyway, I didn't. When I was in Orlando for the 30th anniversary of Stamping Up, at Centre Stage, I was leaving with a friend of mine at about the same time that Patty was, and bless her, we were sort of stalking her, and she let us take a selfie with her. And she was sort of, I'm just leaving. We said, I'll be sorry to disturb you, but please, 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 we love you. And she was very kind and let us have a selfie with her. So I've just got another little piece of the ribbon to just tie in a half knot, and then grab your snips and cut the end. Now, if you're ever worried about the ends of your ribbon fraying, you can always add a little bit of the fine tip glue to the end. If they are nylon ribbon, and not all our ribbon is, you can actually have a flame to the end, but it only works on nylon ribbon. Just saying. So, white card base, and, okay, where did I put it? How did I do this? I had it. It's probably right in front of my nose. No, it's under my Memento ink. And more adhesive. So these are the 2 stamp sets that you get with the starter kit at the moment. So if anyone is thinking about getting the starter kit, and frankly, if you've ever placed an order that is at least £80, I would say get the starter kit, because you're probably going to save money over the years. So those are the two stamp sets. So we've got the Queen Anne's Lace and the So Much Love. And as you can see, neither of them took a huge amount of time to make. Hello, Catherine. So yes, I need some more in colour dots. Otherwise, I would be adding some Magenta Madness dots. Don't have any. But what I could do is, in fact, let's. So, Dark Magenta Madness. So Catherine is here probably to see whether I'm using my new filming thing, and I'm not. And I probably should be. Next time, I've just bought myself a second webcam so that I can do face on. Put it on a long cord around your neck. Oh, my bone folder. Funny you should say that, Audrey. When I was at college, that, by the way, is crooked. Just saying. When I was at college, at fashion college, I had a pair of really beautiful, highly expensive fabric snips. They cost me an arm and a leg. And I had those on a ribbon around my neck. The trouble is, I have so many things I lose, like my snips and my bone folder and everything else, that I would end up with my neck. Rose, yes, they're only available to new demonstrators. So it's someone who's buying the starter kit for the first, well, not for the first time, because you can buy the starter kit any number of times when you drop and rejoin. So I'm going to have that there. These are probably still a little damp, but so if you've got blends and rhinestones, you can colour them any colour you want. Sometimes you have to be a little inventive. Ooh, actually, I'm going to pop that there. Cover up the smudge. You have to be a little inventive about which colour you use on things. You can colour your pearls as well. So anyway, so those are they. Now we're past spot time. So the spot challenge went live at 12, and it brings me nicely to share this. So we're doing our favourite fun fold this week. So that post has just gone live on my website. It would be great to see people enter the challenge, and it's your favourite fun fold. This is a buckle card, so it opens like that, and you close it by slipping that into there. Now, the reason I say this is a good link in, these are just standard pearls that I've coloured to get them near to the colour of the paper. So this is the Poinsettia Place Suite. So I've coloured them to be close to these berries here. This is light cinnamon sage. Yes, Audrey, absolutely like one of those African women with all the rings around your neck. So this is the speciality poinsettia paper, and then this is the ordinary, and I've just made it into a buckle card. So do go and have a look at that. Yes, Elizabeth, both of the stamp sets are in the annual catalogue. You are correct. So yes, this is just a buckle card. I'm hoping to make a video of how I made it. I haven't yet, but I have a plan to do it with the Trimming the Town bundle suite. So that's that. So yes, thank you very much indeed. I now need to do the winning post and all that. So you may remember that the prize from 2 weeks ago was the little ladybug stamp set, which was during celebration, and I've already done the video draw of that. That went live on my Facebook page at 12, and the winner, who was on, and I hope she still is Margaret. Never seen a closure like that. Well, there you are, buckle. Go and have a look at Pinterest, Audrey. Buckle cards. There are masses and masses of them. So, Margaret, thank you very much for sharing the video. And do remember you can share from either Facebook or YouTube. No one shared from YouTube 2 weeks ago, which was kind of weird. In fact, I don't think I had any comments on that video, which is the first time in months. Anyway, so Margaret, do let me know that you haven't moved, because I've got your address, I think. And the prize for this week is a new in packet set of the flower faceted gems, which were in the catalogue last year. So if you would like a chance to win those, they are gorgeous. But I seem to have ordered more than I meant to. So these are now a prize. So there we go. So what have I showed you? I've showed you my buckle card. I've showed you my Please Go and Vote For Me card, which was last night's post. And of course, the most important bit is the So Much Love and Queen Anne's Lace cards. So do have a look at, if you aren't already a demonstrator, have a look at the Get and Go starter kit. It's, as I say, it's a great time, particularly with International Card Making Day coming up on the 3rd of October. This is 16 cards ready to go. All you need to add is adhesive, blocks and ink. They even give you the instructions of how to put them together. I mean, it's just perfect. And as I said, I will be doing an International Card Day carve kit to go. Hello, Claudette. Yes, do watch the replay. Sorry you're not into Pinterest, Audrey. I love Pinterest. Love it. Jackie loves it as well. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining me again today. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. And I may possibly have my new filming setup done by then. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you very much. It will now take me about 5 minutes to end the video, because it always does. Because for some reason you have to do it twice.